This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey book friends, I'm your host Danny, and I'm the one going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me through this journey. We'd like to acknowledge and thank our executive producers Brandy and Aaron Kirkwood, Andre the Man in White, Chad Welsh, Sean McGuire, and Laura and Johnny Lewis. So before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome the Keith User and Mark Meeks to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. We also want to acknowledge Emmanuel Cortez for increasing his pledge over at patreon.com/The Wheel Weaves podcast. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate all of your generosity. In this episode, we are talking about chapters 10 and 11 of The Fires of Heaven.
Almost forgot there.
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I got it.
We've got chapter 10, Figs and Mice, and chapter 11 is The 9-Horse Hitch.
Yeah, which apparently means something super dirty.
I got some speculation for you on that one.
Okay.
It's not the fun fact, but it's going to be fun at the end of the episode.
I bet it'll be fun, considering it's another margarita recording night.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens at the end
We'll
of
see
this
if
one.
I remember to talk about the 9-Horse Hitch.
Oh, it's in my notes to talk about the 9-Horse Hitch.
Okay.
So
it's going to be good.
We're talking about it.
Yeah, and I gotta say, these are relatively short chapters. We get a couple different perspectives, but
I like them, though.
they're good. They're better than the last two, I gotta say.
Yeah, they're better than the last two.
So, yeah. So let's get into this. So my fun fact for today is, as promised, we're finally talking about poop facts. So specifically...
Excellent. I can't wait for this.
Yes, we got to talk about burning.
The people have been waiting, Brett.
Burning said poop. What's up with that? So, again, I got to thank Matt RK76 again, even from last one and this one. He's all over it with the fun fact help.
Okay.
So he linked a helpful article, and it's a piece from the Nebraska government about the history of buffalo and cow chips and how they were used. So
Didn't somebody else say that they used to just sit around in fields in Texas and throw dried poop at each other and use it as their firewood?
That's we got confirmation this is a thing from an actual user of cow chips, but I got the short version. There's a short version to the information here.
Okay.
So when there is typically a scarcity of wood, people had to rely on using animal-made fuel. So first, buffalo poop would be dried for a few weeks in the sun, which made it clean to handle and usually odorless.
Yeah, that's what I told you about the elephant poop and the elephant poop paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know anything about poop, but now I know stuff.
Now you know so much.
I'm here to be fun and informative.
Okay.
Okay. Now, interesting note about the dried poop is that it usually burns with very little fire, but forms hot coals, so it's very effective for cooking and for heating. Plus, it's compact, so it's easier to use for traveling.
That makes me way more uncomfortable cooking over cow poop fire.
I thought you said you didn't care because it's odorless.
Yeah, but
what happened to all that business?
No, the smell I didn't care about. But cooking on
the
it?
Heat vapor? You're not putting your food directly on the poop.
I don't know.
Okay, you put the poop under a pot and then cook in the pot.
Okay. I was thinking
They're
open
coals.
grill. Yeah, but coals, you have a grill and you put your...
Get that flavor enhanced.
Yeah. Or I'm thinking even in the book, they roast rabbit over a flaming spit.
Yeah.
That's poop fire touching your food.
If I recall correctly, last time we were talking about this, you were all on the whole, but they're animals and vegetarian, so it doesn't matter. So
No.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, anyways.
I think everyone knows what I'm saying.
After the buffalo were basically wiped out for a lot of it in North America, people started using cow poop, and then people would actually invite the cattle drivers, leading the herds of cows, they'd invite them to stay on their property so they could get enough cow chips for a winter fuel supply.
Okay,
So it was actually good to get that many people. And then just as a side note, using animal poop or dung cakes as fuel for fire has been around since prehistoric times, and it's found independently all over the world because it works.
Cool.
So yeah, it's basically everywhere.
All right.
Burn your animal poop.
But there is no real mention of it smelling bad like Egwene and her little stuck-up nose.
Yeah. So
and Rand. It was Rand who was it smells too bad, so I'm just going to be cold.
Yeah, so it's all in what's your perception of it would be.
I guess so.
There was a funny thing in the
Rand
Nebraska...
and Egwene, both with their stuck-up noses.
Yeah, but it's funny because in that Nebraska article, I wasn't going to talk about it, but it also mentioned how it was a thing where there'd be like farm wives who would be a little bit like nose in the air and didn't want to touch the poop because it's gross.
Because it's poop.
So yeah,
I get it.
I'm on board with that. It makes sense. Anyways, poop facts. There you go.
Poop facts.
That's round 1.
Coming at you.
We'll get a round 2 later on, probably at some point.
That's okay. I'm actually good. That was a good amount.
Good amount of poop?
Yeah, we can move on now.
Okay.
Okay. So, for this episode, I'm going to do the last time with Nynaeve and Elaine.
Okay.
Then we're going to do the chapter. And then I'm going to do the last time with Swan, Lyanna, and Min.
Cool.
So, right now, the last time for Nynaeve and Elaine, they were getting themselves into quite the sticky situation in some village in Amadicia.
Yes, exactly.
That's it. That's what they did.
They went
that was
from
the entire time.
Yeah, well, they went from being the competent, battle the Forsaken type people, and we got to be suspicious of everyone, to the let's trust everybody and get captured immediately. So
yes. Shoot. Okay. Now, I did have some high hopes that they'd be able to rescue themselves for once.
Okay.
But we'll get into it.
Yeah, there's a whole lot to talk about when we get into it.
Okay. So, chapter 10, Figs and Mice.
Yeah.
Which is, also...
Good chapter title.
Nice chapter title.
Yeah.
The symbol is the harp.
Yes.
Which I immediately forgot about.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
You didn't think, Tom's going to be here this chapter?
Originally I did. I was like, obviously Tom is going to be part of this somehow, but... Okay. So...
Yeah.
So we enter in an Elaine perspective. She is regaining consciousness. We are picking up basically where we left off.
Yeah.
She realizes she's being carried upstairs by Lucy and Rhonda.
Yes.
And Lucy sees that her eyes are open, so she freaks out before Rhonda gives us some new information about fork root tea.
Yeah, so this is huge. So we get a name and we get the background of this fork root tea and its effects all in the first paragraph or so.
There we go.
Pretty great. So it's called fork root tea and it was discovered basically by accident, if we can believe what Mistress Makira is saying, but it's been a useful tool for her. So it's has she been doing something?
Yeah, what do you mean it's been a useful tool? Who the hell are you just drugging all the time?
It's a good question. Anyways, she's not super evil or anything. That's okay.
I don't think she's evil.
Well,
I think that she has her own motives living in this stupid village in Amadicia, but I really don't think she should be drugging people.
Fair. I agree with that.
Unless it's White Cloaks. Drug the White Cloaks.
Yeah, that's I'm okay with that.
Record.
But we also get a note here that Elaine can't channel and she can barely even move.
Yeah.
So completely you're conscious, but you're
which
paralyzed.
Is a weird thing for a plant to be able to do to you.
Well, I mean, but not really. There's a lot of poisonous plants out there that'll kill you or come close to it.
Okay, and we can talk about it, but I thought it was really interesting that she regains movement, muscle motor movements, before she's even able to reach out and grasp Sidene.
Sidar.
Cool. Yeah. I remember those two.
Yeah,
that are
it's
different.
okay.
But yeah, that's interesting. So Elaine's thoughts confirm that this is accurate because she can't move or channel.
Yeah.
And so she starts freaking out internally about being turned over to the White Cloaks or for the Dark Friends or Black Aja, and hopefully she thinks that Nynaeve escaped. And at this point, we don't know where Nynaeve is, so we're oh, maybe, but
maybe time has passed.
But we also know that Nynaeve passed the hell out. So
yeah, and it's just kind of one of those time lapse things. We don't exactly know how long it's been. But I also got to point out here because it's kind of funny. But Elaine thinks to herself, "Oh, why didn't Nynaeve know this and recognize this herb?"
Yeah,
but it's at what point would she have recognized it?
Yeah,
when you drink it, it's too late.
Yeah,
for the taste.
Exactly, and it's just literal tea.
Yeah, it's just tea.
But even as it was happening...
Yeah, it was bad. I
was like, guys, this is so terrible. Don't do this. So, Rhonda and Lucy... I don't want to call her Mistress Mercada. What's her name? I don't know.
Mistress Makira?
I
you like Rhonda?
Rhonda way better.
Rhonda, okay.
So, Rhonda and Lucy drop Elaine on the bed, and Elaine is basically just paralyzed. And a few moments later, the two return with Nynaeve, and they plop her on the other bed.
Yeah.
But Nynaeve's eyes are also open, and she's paralyzed.
Yes, and looking super pissed off.
And scared.
Yeah, which is fair.
Which is fair.
Yeah, you just got kidnapped.
Yeah. So now we get a bit of a conversation between Rhonda and Lucy, with Rhonda giving a whole bunch of instructions.
Yes, yeah.
About how to pour exactly 2 ounces into Nynaeve and Elaine when the hourglass is empty.
Yeah.
And Lucy is a complainer and is like, I don't like how they're looking at me. Can't I just give it to them now?
Like all of it?
Yeah. But... And no, because if you give too much, then they'll be like dead to the world.
Yeah. Like totally out.
Yeah. And this way, if they dose the women properly, they'll at least be able to walk when the time comes to send them off.
Yeah, so we get a hint of a plan right now.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that makes total sense because like she's not just going to keep them drugged here forever for someone to come pick them up.
Well, I mean, the last time we saw, like one of the last times, that we saw the girls being captured, they were being drugged and kept in a room until the Murdral were coming to pick them up.
Shit,
so
that's
they
happened,
were getting
right.
just left there, and that was just a captor mistake.
God.
I know, you forgot that.
I didn't forget it. I didn't forget it because we're going to talk about...
You blocked it out of your memory.
Yeah,
okay.
No. Okay. So now Rhonda is going to go off to get things going. She's got plans to make, ravens or pigeons or something to send. And Lucy needs to close up shop so nobody wanders in here.
Yeah, it's a good plan.
Not that anyone was wandering in anyway.
You know, it's also important to note, though, Lucy doesn't seem to be an expert here, so it doesn't seem like they have done this a bunch of times before.
No, what I want to know is... who Rhonda's test subjects were. Like, she knows exactly 2 ounces. She knows the exact amount of time in the hourglass, right? Like,
yeah.
So, and it proves, like, we see in a little bit.
Oh, it works.
That, like, Elaine, as soon as the hourglass, runs out, she's able to start moving.
Yeah, it's down to a T, so.
That's a little concerning.
Who was the test subject?
Yeah, or subjects.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't seem to be Lucy.
Yeah. No, but Lucy seems to be new to this, but anyways.
I mean, like, Lucy was her test subject.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because originally I was like, oh, maybe, but then it's like, no.
Yeah, I mean, possibly, right?
But she seems like she has no idea what she's doing.
Yeah.
So Lucy hangs around for a while, and then eventually just, scurries away because she can't handle it.
And the eyes they keep looking at her.
Yeah. And so then we get a bit of a fast forward with Elaine watching the hourglass ticking away, and the last grain drops, and then Lucy doesn't show up.
Yeah, this is big.
Yeah. I really got excited.
Yeah. But also, why? We understand, later on what happens in the next couple times, but, what about the first time?
Probably, I don't know if she fell asleep or if she is just too scared of them.
Yeah. It's just she's so concerned about dosing them right away so they don't wake up and kill her.
Yeah.
But then she doesn't show up on time.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
A little bit. I just thought okay, well the thing about this time period is there aren't just clocks everywhere.
True.
And so she has the one hourglass that she turns over, and then when she leaves the room, she can't see that hourglass anymore. So it's just a matter of speculating when you think the hourglass is up.
Yeah.
Because she rushes in oh my god, I was late. I thought
That's
I lost track of time.
Okay.
I don't know. Is it anything else?
No, I'm just wondering because my neurotic brain would be going in every 10 minutes being has been an hour, has been an hour, has been an hour.
Yeah, you're neurotic.
I'd go in all the time.
Yeah, but she's really scared of them.
Yeah, but then you should be extra checking.
Maybe she fell asleep.
Maybe. Who could sleep at a time like this? Okay. Let's keep moving through this.
Okay.
I got nothing else for that.
Okay. So this is where a few minutes go by. Elaine and Nynaeve start fighting the effects of the tea, and they almost get some mobility, and I think yes, this'll be it. And then the door bangs open, and Lucy comes running in and doses them both.
Shoot. So I did want to note here that it does, this 4-crew tea stuff is brand new to us here, and it does seem like a new thing that we really haven't seen even anything like it before. But I just want to point out that it does seem like it is just the tea that's doing it. It's not some magically enhanced something.
No. Oh,
It's straight up just tea from the pot, and it's a special kind of tea.
Well, this reminds me of how narcotics were invented.
Yeah.
Right? That was all just plants, the milk of the poppy and and stuff like that,
you
right?
smoke enough plants and eventually something's going to work, so.
Yeah. Or ingest enough thinking it's medicine.
Eat enough plants.
Well, that's literally how
yeah.
Coca-Cola started.
Probably.
not probably. It was. It was like literally cocaine, and it was a cough medicine.
Cocaine was involved in in it. It wasn't just straight cocaine. I'm pretty sure originally it was like to help toothaches or something, and it was the cocaine that was doing the preventing the. Yeah. It was something like that. So
yeah.
Anyways.
I want more cocaine facts. Okay.
I don't know if I should Google how cocaine facts.
Yeah, how is cocaine made? No, okay, no, Brett, move on.
I didn't mean it, Mr. FBI man.
It's just research for a podcast.
Nah, he knows.
So at this point, Elaine wakes up, however long later, the hourglass is ticking away, and then we get a side note about Elaine noticing that Nynaeve is definitely working on fighting this.
Yeah.
And then Elaine feels ashamed of herself for being so weak, and we get into that again.
Yeah, we've got this before a few times. She's got those whole stories about the past queens of Andor who would like lead a charge into battle and were so brave.
How am I ever supposed to be queen if I'm not brave?
But this is the problem. Elaine wants to be like that, and that's what leads her to do things like she did in Tanchico, where it's like, let's just bust in the door to however many, Black Aja.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's also not.
I prefer that to this.
Well, okay, but still, it could have went very poorly in Tanchico. That's all I'm saying. Caution's not bad.
Yeah. You know what I'm just thinking now for the very first time?
No.
When they were going into this place and they weren't really sure who was there or what the message was, and they were going, like, everything that they've ever done, at least Elaine embraces Saidar, like, ready for anything.
Yeah.
If she needs it.
Yeah.
And there was no mention of that this time. They walked into her kitchen. They were like, "Oh, you're really nervous about something? Let me drink your tea to calm you down." And instead of just being like, "I don't want your tea. Tell me the message." String her up in air. Like, she's obviously loose-lipped here.
A little bit, but that's the problem. Is that
that's what I wanted from her.
Nynaeve thought it was the super secret message from the Yellow Aja,
and it is technically. But the way they went about this just seems like a million steps backwards compared to how they just acted in Tanchico.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
It just seems like backwards development for me, and it's annoying. So, the hourglass empties, Lucy doesn't show up again, and this is where I think, finally, these women are going to save themselves. That's what I was 100% hoping for here. They got themselves into this stupid mess, and I was like, okay, this is their chance. Finally.
If they can get themselves out, it'll be okay?
Yes. Then I'll be like, okay, this is the redemption. We're in book 5. They're gonna get themselves out of the situation by themselves. No. Because the door busts open, and I go, oh, it's Lucy again. But, like, maybe they're strong enough. Maybe she'll get a little bit of Saidar, and nope, it's Tom. Here to rescue them.
Yeah.
Damsels in distress.
So.
Can't stand it.
Okay. Did you expect any kind of rescue or them to even get away at this soon? It's still really, like, we're 3 pages into this chapter.
I was expecting them to get away.
By themselves, though, not, okay.
Yeah, I was expecting them to get away. I thought that they were going to be able, because they're both very strong, we know that. I thought they were going to be able to, this Lucy was going to fail to show up on time, and they were going to be able to grasp,
yeah,
whatever the power, and wrap her up as soon as she comes in, lash out the power at her.
You got all sorts of plans for them, but none of that matters.
Nothing. Nothing.
Okay, let's get into Tom's story about why he's actually here.
All right, I actually do.
Let's get you off that track.
If they can't save themselves, I'm happy Tom is saving them.
Yeah.
So the door crashes open. It's Tom standing there like an action hero. Tom is holding... Oh, by the way, we're in Elaine's point of view, so of course Tom looks like an action hero.
He's got his hands on his hips, and he's like
Superman
looking off upwards,
pose.
and he's got the cape billowing in the wind behind him.
Yeah, more actually, like he's holding Lucy by the neck.
Yeah, that too.
And he's threatening her with his knife.
It's like light threatening.
I like it. And he like throws her down to sit in the corner crying, and he starts helping Nynaeve and Elaine, and I went, bad, I wish they could save themselves. So, Tom tells his story about why he's here. The short version is that Julian followed the two of them into town because neither of them trusted them.
Yeah, like right from the get-go.
Good.
Yeah.
They need help.
That's pretty funny.
Well, they need it. So, anyway, Julian followed them. Nobody came back to the camp, and then Tom followed after all of them.
Yeah.
So I want to know, like, what was Julian doing?
Well, Julian was probably following from what it sounds like, and
Rhonda.
then he followed the girls into town saw that they went into the shop, obviously didn't follow, and it doesn't seem like it's been that long of an amount of time.
Okay, so
Or they're,
Julian
like,
was probably like waiting for them to come out
Probably
again.
doing circles around the building, and that's why Tom was like, then I followed into town.
Yeah.
So it could have been like a half an hour Julian was waiting outside the shop.
Yeah, we don't actually know how long the hourglass is.
Yeah, we don't know. So, but yeah, it could have been like a couple hours or whatever, and then Julian was scoping out the place to figure out how to bust in. Because that's what Tom says, was like, Julian was ready to like bust in here, regardless of who was even inside.
Yeah.
But luckily, then they saw, like, Tom went in, they saw Lucy, all that stuff happened.
Yeah, okay. So, Julian comes in then with Rhonda, like, right away.
Yeah,
because she was coming in through the back fence, thought he was a thief, and now Rhonda is having a bad time.
Yes. So he was still, like, keeping watch outside, because it does sound like one person did get away, just from the writing, because Tom caught Lucy, and then he says that Julian missed somebody heading out the back or something like that. So we don't know. I thought
that was Rhonda.
But then Rhonda comes back in.
Yeah.
The gate, so it's like, it's a weird...
I didn't think that was weird. I thought that was pretty obvious that it was Rhonda leaving.
Yeah.
And Julian was probably, like, in the front.
Okay. And then Rhonda comes back in.
And then Rhonda comes back, and then maybe Tom saw someone leaving.
Okay.
Yeah, it was clearly Rhonda. Because she said she was going to leave out the back.
Yeah, okay.
And so that's probably why it took longer, because now they've had, like, 2 doses.
Yes.
Right? So...
And she had a bunch of plans.
And it was time for their 3rd dose.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original dose, the one time that Lucy was late, and then the second time Lucy's late is when Tom busts in. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
so it's time for their 3rd dose.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now, Rhonda tries to say, I wouldn't have done what I did, but I had orders. And Nynaeve obviously wants to know who's giving these orders.
Yeah, this is the stuff we want to know, too.
Yeah, because it's obviously from the tower, and they're thinking Black Aja, Dark Friends, and Rhonda won't answer, and then Nynaeve is like, okay, well, Julian, you get a confession out of her. And
it's like, yes, my friend over here is going to torture you if you don't tell us.
Excellent. And that's when he's like, yes, just give me some ropes and some cooking oil and some salt.
It's pretty funny. Like, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I do like it because he totally plays into the part.
Oh, yeah.
Like the overly villainous,
grin.
Like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I will make you talk.
Yeah, but you know who doesn't pick up on any of this?
Elaine.
Elaine doesn't pick up on any of this.
No.
She's like, oh my goodness, not Nynaeve.
What were you going to do with the salt? And it's like, these people just, like, captured you.
Like, nothing.
Even if you thought this was all real, like, why aren't you more angry about all of this?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Nynaeve goes along with this act and is like, okay, Julian, go get the salt.
Go get the stuff from the kitchen.
Yeah, and the threat works.
Yeah, it does.
So, Rhonda says that her contact in Tarvalin is Nairnwin.
Sure.
Nairnwin. This is the worst name I've ever seen.
Nairnwin Barda.
Yeah, that one.
You almost had it.
And she's at an inn called the Upriver Run.
Yes.
And some guy named Avi Shandar keeps pigeons, and she uses them, and he doesn't ask questions.
Yeah. All this becomes important later on.
Oh, it sure does.
I love this. We got a lot to talk about this last little bit here.
Okay. So then Nynaeve wants some more names because she totally thinks this is Black Aja. And she wants to know how long Rhonda has been a dark friend and how long she served the Black Aja. And it's all very funny.
It is, because they're immediately going like, oh, this is totally like Black Aja stuff.
Yeah.
But like clearly Rhonda and Lucy.
Only Aes Sedai who've been after them.
Yeah.
Like, it makes the most sense, like, to me, in their minds. Like, they were
chasing
Black Aja. The Black Aja knew who they were.
Yeah. Like, I mean, but even in Elaine's mind, she's thinking, like, she's heard of Naren Wynn, but she's thinking, like, oh, she's not the sort who would seem like a Black Aja.
Yeah, but
I mean,
who's the sort who would be... And then she,
the evil-looking ones.
No, because then she even has a thought, because Naren Wynn apparently lets people come in so she can heal their pets. And then she thinks about the other Germalfin.
Marilyn Germalfin likes cats and rescues strays.
Too, but she's Black Aja, so like you can like animals and still serve the Dark One.
That's true. You can do both.
You can do both. You heard it here first, folks. You can do both. So
I do like the conversation.
Yeah, Rhonda and Lucy are like, we are not dark friends. How dare you say such a thing?
Well, I like Lucy's reaction because Lucy says it first. She's like, what? I'm not a dark friend? Well, at least I'm not. And then she looks at Rhonda being like, oh, are you a dark friend?
Yeah.
And then Rhonda's also like, I'm not a dark friend either.
And like, I think it's important to remember that we're in Amadicia now.
Yeah, so it's like that's
a
bad.
BFD.
Yeah,
That's
it's like a worse accusation.
It's a big fucking deal to be called a dark friend. Even like associated with Aes Sedai makes you terrible.
Hondo. Yeah.
So Nynaeve and Elaine are very confused. Well, if you're not dark friends, why did you drug us if you only serve the yellow Aes Sedai?
Yeah. So now we get like the real story, which is good.
So Rhonda drugged them because of Elaine.
Yes.
And you helped me figure that out last time.
Yeah.
That it was Elaine that she was looking for.
Yeah.
And she was sent a description a month ago, right down to how Elaine holds her chin in the air.
Yes. It's always up.
And that she might use her name and claim to be a noble. Her orders were to delay her or even capture her and to risk exposure to stop this runaway accepted.
Yeah, so that's the story. We figured it out.
That's
so it makes sense.
the story.
Yeah, and it all makes sense from, like, obviously, and it becomes even more funny as we get into this because there's so much, like, you know, no one actually knows what's going on.
No one has any fucking clue.
But for us, it makes total sense because we know it's Elida who's setting these orders because she wants Elaine back in the tower.
Oh, yeah, because she's, like, forging
the letters
to
Morgaze.
To Morgaze.
Yeah,
but Morgaze is all compelled out of her brain, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so
all
it's
funny.
like, it's all hilarious.
Ugh. And I mean, like, funny is, like, we laugh because otherwise we cry.
Yeah.
It's a very terrible situation.
It's a bad situation, but yeah.
So then the Amyrlin gets brought into the conversation because turns out this is actually by order of the Amyrlin seat.
Yeah.
And Rhonda was to use any means necessary short of killing them. And unfortunately, no other reason was given about this.
Yes, and it's not, you know, via the Amyrlin who is Elida, it's just the Amyrlin.
No, and so Nynaeve and Elaine are super confused as to why Swan would send for Elaine to be captured when she was the one who sent them away to fight the Black Aja.
See? Hilarious.
It's
a great misunderstanding. It's a classic who's on first situation. That's what we got here.
Classic.
Yeah.
Dave's not here.
Dave's not here, man.
Yeah. Oh, man. So now we get Rhonda's plan.
Yeah.
Because she was just going to send them off by cart.
Yeah.
And she already sent a pigeon to Narenwin.
Yeah, so that's bad.
Telling her what's up.
That's bad because she's already going to get that first pigeon in Tarvalin.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, I got her.
Right. And then Theron Lugay owes her a favor, so he was gonna take them in his cart with enough fork root to just, like, keep them passed out all the way to Tarvalin. Months and months and months.
Yeah. Well, probably like...
Would be. I looked at the map, Brett.
It's probably like a couple months, yeah.
It's so long.
It's a lot. It's a lot of fork root.
It took them a month to get to here.
So why does she have such a big stockpile of this fork root?
Well...
What's she doing?
Matters just like this.
You know? Hey.
I don't know. But Nynaeve takes a bunch later, I think.
Well, Rhonda's becoming more and more suspicious.
Yeah.
I'm becoming more and more suspicious of Rhonda. That's what I should have said.
That's fair, because I was like,
it's like all this stuff isn't lining up. What's going on?
Yeah, it sounds like she just, like, likes her stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if people are dying of like a fever or something,
there might be like alternative,
like using that because it sounds like people were coming to her.
That's true.
Like secretly, which we can talk about like later when they get into her kitchen and stuff, and they talk about it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like women are allowed to practice any sort of medicine or medicine woman stuff here.
And I do have to say, for a tea like this to be able to knock somebody out has very useful non-evil applications as a sedative. Yeah. So, like, that's actually, like, a legit thing. Yeah,
for example.
Anything like that. Yeah. So, trouble sleeping. There you go. Kids being annoying. Here's some tea.
No, Brett. Don't give your kid NyQuil. Don't just let them... You're going to start a podcast? A parenting podcast?
Bad parenting advice.
It would be so different than all of, like, the mommy parenting podcasts that are out there. It would be hilarious.
Things I learned from my mom.
Yeah, oh my God.
A little bit of brandy in the nighttime milk.
No. Okay. No. So, Nynaeve wants to know the real message that Rhonda was supposed to deliver, and it turns out
we already got
the one that she said was the real message.
Yeah, we got it. That was it.
And Nynaeve is like, this doesn't make any sense. Nynaeve, tie them up and leave them here.
Yeah, Nynaeve says that to the men today.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of funny because the message is the real message. And again, we know that it makes sense out of context for these girls. Like, they don't have any idea what's going on.
Right. No, and it makes no sense.
Yeah.
I get it. So, more weird thoughts that Elaine has about Tom coming at you.
You do want to talk about this then?
Well, she feels a stab of jealousy that Tom is helping Nynaeve and Julian's helping her.
Yeah.
And
so I gotta say, totally intentional by Tom to be the one that's helping, not Elaine.
I could just imagine how uncomfortable all of this is making Tom, to be honest with
like
you.
100% of my mind is like, he for sure, like, oh, I'll get Nynaeve.
Yeah. He's not stupid. Whatever. I just put that it's really annoying.
Yeah.
So now they're all heading downstairs, and Elaine asks Julian what he was going to do with the salt and the cooking oil.
Oh my goodness.
And it turns out Julian was just like making it up as he goes. It's just a trick to get people to talk, because they're going to make up in their own minds what they're going to do about it.
Yeah, it's going to be worse than what you would ever come up with.
Just like how that one time he sent for figs and mice.
There you go. We got the chapter title.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know what that reminds me of? That scene in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I wrote that down with the basket. Like it's
rats.
The rats and the bucket and
the bucket and
the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
they actually do it though.
They
and
actually
torture people.
do it and torture people.
Because it's Game of Thrones, and it's like, you know.
Yeah. Why not?
Why use your imagination when we can just show you?
Yeah. Right.
That's how it works.
That's Game of Thrones.
But I do have to give props to Julian though, because he does talk about how he realizes that if you torture somebody, they're probably going to confess stuff that's not true, and
yes.
that's 100% true.
100% true.
Torture is not a reliable method of getting accurate
information.
information.
No, and he doesn't actually torture people. He just threatens it.
Yes.
Right?
But even then, he's like, sometimes people will just like confess to anything. So
yeah, but he truly believes that these women were telling the truth.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So next, we get something big. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
I wonder how people feel about this one. I'm eager to hear people's responses.
6 out of 10.
Because people were very conflicted about the fact that Matt saved these women's hides.
Yes.
He saved them. And there's like a back and forth about, oh, well, if they hadn't stilled what's-her-face, or what, not stilled her, but at the time was she stilled? I don't know. It's all confusing.
Shielded her.
They were in a cell.
Yes.
In the Stone of Tyr. There was an Aes Sedai outside it. Egwene had enabled her in some way, and then Matt came and rescued them.
Yeah, disabled.
What did I say?
Enabled.
I meant disabled.
Yeah.
Disabled her in some way, and Matt came and rescued them.
Yes.
So it was a little bit of like, okay, well, if she was just an Aes Sedai sitting there, Matt wouldn't have been able to rescue them.
I'm on that train of like, it was a mutual beneficial rescue, but I 100% am on the side of they needed to give Matt a big thank you.
Yeah.
And not just like treat him like garbage.
Right.
So,
and so that's what this character growth is in this moment. I believe this might be the redemption that people want from Nynaeve.
Well, okay, Matt still needs a thank you.
Oh, sure. But
you don't get to say thank you to somebody else for doing something, and that takes...
Okay.
Yeah,
no. I'm just showing the character growth and development.
Okay.
Because with Nynaeve, it's a literal millimeter at a time for growth and development. So we take what we can get.
Yeah. And what she did, because we haven't technically said it yet.
She says, thank you.
Yeah.
Sort of. And very begrudgingly.
She does. But
and
she does
says,
say it.
Maybe this is why I said I have warders. And I want to be like, no, honey. No.
What?
No. I mean, like, yes, maybe.
What are you talking about? That's absolutely why I said I have warders.
Yeah, but I don't think Aes Sedai are stupid enough to go into somebody's kitchen and drink their mystery tea and get themselves into these...
Okay, well, it's like part of the reason
situations.
that you have someone watching your back who's going to come and protect, like, help you out.
Yes.
Like, that's the reason why Aes Sedai can have warders, or should.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you can just go be stupid.
No, it's not like you should rely on land to bail you out every single time.
Yeah.
But, like, there's a big reason why you would want to bring some, help, some assistance.
Yes. Yeah, no, I get that part. But, like, you don't have a warder to come rescue you because you did something really stupid.
Yeah. I mean, hypothetically...
Although, yes, it is. Because, I mean, I guess Moiraine technically does stupid things all the time. She's just, like, more savvy about it.
But it's like, hypothetically, Moiraine could walk into that kitchen and drink the tea, and Lan would be the guy just standing in the corner looking at everybody, who's going to kill me, or who's going to attack Moiraine. And so he wouldn't drink the tea.
Well, and I don't think they would give Moiraine the tea if Lan was standing there.
Exactly. So...
helps them from doing the stupid thing to begin with.
I think Nynaeve and Elaine need to get some orders up in
I
here.
completely agree, but they should probably be Aes Sedai first. They should probably go back for some fucking training.
Nah, overrated. Okay.
All right, so we get a little bit of world building here because in Amadicia they don't have wisdoms or anything like that because it's the men who study the herbs, and they're called hedge doctors.
Yeah, and Nynaeve does not approve of this.
No, she's like, I would not trust a man to heal me as much as I would trust a man to sew me a dress.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't a man sew you a dress?
Yeah, like, what is this?
Yeah.
This is terrible, Nynaeve. This is the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, just pointing out, like, if you're too much of if you could heal too well or help too many people, then the White Cloaks are just going to be like, she's a witch.
Exactly.
Burn her.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you know she's a witch?
Well, and that's why I think that she has all this stuff sort of secret. I think she has this, like, seamstress shop as a ruse.
Oh,
and
like
I think
a front,
people know to come to her.
Oh, yeah. I can see that, too.
And I think that's why she has this stuff, because she does. Because, like, even later, that guy is like, oh, she helped heal my family from the fever or whatever.
She for sure knows a little bit of what she's doing. Like, she's not stupid.
100%. I don't think there's anything nefarious going on with the fork root.
Okay.
I think that she's actually just, like, the wisdom, but, like, in secret.
Yeah. Okay.
So we get a little bit of speculation from Elaine, Nynaeve, Julian, and Tom about what the message from the tower actually meant, and the consensus is that the message is true, but they have no idea what it means or why it was given.
Yeah, and it's the whole Swan versus Elida situation, so...
Yeah.
But I mean, Nynaeve doesn't...
At the end of this episode, we're going to get back to, like, my theory about how they're going to find out.
Okay, I want to hear that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I do want to point out, though, that Nynaeve... Even though it is Swan that she thinks is the Amyrlin, she doesn't trust Swan at all either.
No.
So it's like, either way,
Nynaeve
whichever
doesn't trust
one.
anyone who's not Nynaeve.
Except for the person who's trying to give you tea. That person she trusts.
That person, she's like, give me the message. Because she's like, it's yellow azure. She was like, I know something. And then
so happy to be like
a
part of the club, in the crew.
It's so bad.
Ah.
So to end this perspective, we have the crew worrying about the tower.
Hold up, before you get into this.
What?
Into the perspective change?
No.
Oh, I thought you were into the perspective change.
No, I said to end this perspective.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we're good.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah, because we have the crew worrying about the tower having eyes and ears everywhere, but if they look the way they look... they're just going to get tracked down literally everywhere.
So they got to look not like how they look.
It's time to put on some disguises.
Yes.
And basically just Elaine.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Because
so Elaine's going to dye her hair black.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Which is like sad because she's like, oh no, not my golden curls. And so... then it's also time to buy some guy's fancy coach because they can't pretend to be merchants anymore.
Yeah. They got to switch out the plan.
Switch it up.
It's good. I like it.
So now perspective change.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I drop some fun fact information on you here?
Okay.
Okay. So this is officially a narrator perspective.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, this is nobody's perspective. It's the narrator. And we don't really get to see the narrator perspective very often. But we have seen a narrator before.
Well, has it been twice before?
It's been once? Twice before. You're right.
Okay. Is it when they're in Tyr... and we get that opening scene that's like from everyone's perspective from the past couple days?
Nope, not that one. That was technically from their perspectives.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about that weird guy?
Nope, not that one. The Shanshan guy?
The Shanshan guy.
Nope, that was from his perspective.
Oh.
So not either of those, but good guesses.
Well, because those are the ones that don't have like a specific...
They're kind of like weird.
Page break or whatever.
Yeah.
Paragraph break.
Yeah, so there's two technical narrator perspectives.
Tell me.
One of them we got was the little narrator ending of the Dragon Reborn, chapter 56, People of the Dragon. That was when it was like the very end of the book. There was the overview of the city. You got to see the dragon banner, and then you got to hear the people going, Althor, the dragon, Althor. Yeah. So that was one of them. That was technically narrator. And the other one was the end of The Great Hunt, chapter 50. It was literally the half-page chapter about the stories of Falma spreading across the world.
Oh, okay.
It was one chapter was literally half a page.
Got it.
So it's an interesting thing that the narrator perspective came at the end of two of the books, but this one's just like in the middle, like it's the middle of chapter 10.
Well, and it's sort of the narrator perspective.
Yeah.
Because it flops into other people's like perspectives.
Yes.
As the scene changes.
Yeah.
Like, it's not...
It's
a sort of situation.
It's technically labeled as narrator, though.
Okay, but it's a sort of situation.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Idea.
And it's also hilarious. I love this end sequence.
All right, so we have Noi. And it's his coach who's pulling up in front of Rhonda's shop. And we see our crew basically leap into the coach. And the two ladies have their heads wrapped in a scarf, so their hair can't be seen.
So you can't actually tell who dyed their hair yet.
Okay.
Right?
And we get two children of the light who head over to start asking questions, but then the coachman just shouts to make way for a lady.
And cracks his whip.
Yeah. And then they take off down the street. The White Cloaks don't chase them because who wants to do that in this heat? Plus, they don't want to be humiliated if they fail.
Yeah, so just a little thing. The crew got away, so that's good.
From the store.
From the store, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so a little while later, Theron Lugay leads his cart into Rhonda's shop.
This is the guy that Rhonda just went to go and summon, and now he's rolling in.
He's ready for his journey to Tarvalin.
This is so funny.
Theron knocks on the door a few times, nobody answers, so he goes in, and upstairs he finds Rhonda and Lucy fast asleep in their beds with their clothes on.
Yeah.
And they don't wake up when he shakes them, so he just leaves them there.
This is so funny, though.
Yeah.
I love this part.
He goes off on his journey anyway.
Yeah.
To see Altara.
Yeah.
Or maybe Mirandi to get away from his wife and mother-in-law.
Yeah. He just fucking leaves.
Yeah.
He, looks at them, looks back at his cart. He's like, oh, Rhonda's already paid me a bunch of money. Yeah. And he thinks of his nagging wife and his mother-in-law. He's like, nope.
They think I'm leaving to Tarvalin.
He's just going to go, no.
Explore the fucking world.
He's like, I'm peacing out here.
He's out.
It's so funny.
Yeah, this is great.
It's such a funny little, why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
I just feel like RJ was just exploring his ability to write little tiny perspectives and give them life.
And full, I know this guy's whole life.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny. So then we get a switch to Rhonda after quite a long time later because she's up, but she's still a little shaky.
Yeah.
And she's at Abby's place.
That's the pigeon guy.
Sending a pigeon off to Narenwin in Tarvalin, and then she sends a duplicate.
Yeah.
As she does with all her messages.
Whoa.
To someone off to the west.
Okay, who?
I don't know.
Well, that's huge. So she's literally duplicating, Yellow Aja, eyes and ears messages. She's double copying everything.
I think whoever she's sending it to, she isn't a Darkfront. I totally believe that. And I think that if she is sending it to a Black Aja...
It's unknowingly?
It's unknowingly.
Well, and she thinks to herself, I'm just a lady trying to get paid here.
Yeah.
Because she's running a very unsuccessful sewing shop.
Well, I do think that she does have her secret wisdom business.
Yes. Okay. So it's double... She's quadruple dipping into the funds
100%, yeah. So...
The lady's got to get paid. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but then she also wants her report to bring some harm to Nynaeve.
Yeah, and then we get into the best little tidbit here, too.
Oh, yes, because we get a switch to Avi, the guy whose pigeons they are.
Yeah, and he doesn't pay attention to anything, except he does.
As soon as, when she leaves, he goes and checks out the parchment that Rhonda was, putting underneath her papers to write.
Yeah, writing on top so you can see the imprint.
Yeah, so he holds it up to the light, and he can read what she wrote... And now another pigeon is heading in another direction.
And who's this going to?
And he probably does this all the time.
100% he does. He does it all the time.
All the time.
So it's any message that's going to the Yellow Aja in Tarvalin is also going to some unknown figure in the west. And
also going somewhere else.
In the east, yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey.
There we go. So now, the only thing I wonder before we wrap up this chapter is... if they're still off to Tarvalin.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't they, though?
Well, because we know that the Amyrlin has sent for, the capture of Elaine.
Okay.
And they have this weird message about how everyone needs to stay strong and whatever.
Yeah, Tower must be whole.
I personally 100% believe that before they reach Tarvalin, they're going to find out news of what actually happened.
Okay.
But we can talk about that at the end of next chapter.
Okay.
Because I have a theory.
Ooh, I like it. We got to look at the map, I think.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll
I went to the map.
After.
I went to the map for
you
my
did?
theory.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Okay, so now getting into chapter 11, let me tell you where we last left our Min, Liana, Swan, and Logain crew.
Okay, let's get into this.
The Logain train.
Yeah, so we are at chapter 11, the 9-horse hitch.
The 9-horse hitch. So last time, though, they did some stuff and ran away from some serious oaths.
Good, yeah. Burned down a farm, got in some fights, got captured.
Thought Logain left. Logain came back.
Did some hitting on Gareth Bryn.
Oh, Liana.
Yep, Liana.
Did some hitting on Gareth Bryn. Gareth Bryn is after them.
Yeah, with his crew of veterans.
Which, like, I thought maybe we'd get a hint to here.
Yeah.
And we don't.
We don't, which is interesting.
Yeah, interesting. So what's that guy doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that, actually. And
him and his band of, 25
yeah,
veterans.
because they, gave, the world's most serious
They were a couple days
oaths.
behind. They were, a day behind or 2 days behind.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but the women gave, the world's most serious oath. That's a very hard thing to say.
Yeah.
So, and they broke it.
They
sort
did.
of.
I mean, well, sort of.
In their brains, they're like,
It was a
I'll come
technicality.
do it later.
Yeah.
It's
I think that's a well-designed.
technicality.
It's a well-designed contract. You left a note. Gareth Bryn didn't specify the
They
time.
didn't leave a note. They left a note?
I didn't say that.
Oh, I thought
The
you
tequila's
just said...
gotten to you.
No, you said they left a note.
Did I?
Play back the tape.
tequila's got to me then. I don't know.
Okay, hold on. You said...
Okay, no. Okay, so they
left a note.
They left an out in their
Oh, an
oaths.
out. Okay,
An
because I was
out.
thinking, where did they leave a note? Pinned to the guy, Jovi, or whatever his name was, passed out? Joan... What was his name?
Yeah, it was
Anyway.
Joni or something.
He's
Jovi or...
He's passed out. And they're like, oh, he pinned a note? Oh,
Maybe. They could have.
We'll be back to fulfill our oaths later.
So I got to put this on the
No.
record here because it's Gareth Bryn's fault for not specifying the time in which it must be accomplished.
Oh my god.
Swan totally played him.
Fine. No, maybe if they had actually left a note, I'd say that this is fine. They didn't leave a note for sure, and this isn't fine because he thinks they're oath breakers.
Yes.
Because he doesn't know they plan to return.
But he also thinks that one of them is beautiful.
Is it Liana?
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe because he was thinking.
There's some level of attraction between some people going on here.
Who was the one that his lady wanted him to hook up with?
Liana.
Oh, it was Liana. And
Yeah.
he was like, no, not that one.
Yeah, because it was Swan's eyes, because she was staring at him.
And it's because he's met her before.
Yes.
And so he's feeling some kind of way because he's like, oh, something about those eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's probably just because they're familiar, but on a different face.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope it's not creepy because she looks like she's 20 and he's old.
Well, this would be a 9 even land situation. Gareth Bryn probably isn't any different than
I'm they're actually probably the same age.
Probably, yeah, they're probably.
Yeah, and then this is the whole Elaine Tom situation all over again. I can't get into it again. We got into it too much last time.
Well, let's do a recap of what these names are, the fake names.
Okay, first though, we haven't talked about the chapter symbol.
Oh, right, okay.
Is the Flame of Tarvalon. So maybe we should get into the chapter.
Right, let's start the chapter, and then we can talk about more stuff. So.
Okay. We're just talking about the last time on still. So we enter in our Swan perspective.
Yes, yeah.
We have our crew traveling, and they've come all the way to Lugard in Morandi.
And it's only over a couple of weeks. They're going fast.
Yeah, and let me tell you, if you need to look at a map, they're going south.
Yeah,
They've continued south.
Yes. Well, they went from Tarvalon down.
I like how you think that it's just obvious where
through
Lugard
Camelin, and they're heading
in Morandi
south.
is. Yeah, I don't know where that stuff is.
You haven't memorized the map yet? What are you doing with your time? What do you do?
God.
What do you do all day?
Sorry.
Okay.
See, you think that I know more than I know.
Okay. But this is important because we get a little hint of her plan, and her plan with Logain is that it's a big fish on the hook to catch a bigger fish.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
You tell me, what does it mean?
Yeah. Huh. I think that she's gonna use Logain. Well, her whole thing is to get revenge on Elida. That's
Sure.
the biggest thing. So that must be something.
Okay. So would Elida be the bigger fish?
Maybe. Or Rand? Is she gonna... Because somehow, whatever she does, it's to get back at Elida.
Well, what was... So if you recall, Swan's promise to Logain.
I don't know.
That she's going to help Logain get revenge.
On the ones who stilled him.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So it's like maybe using Logain in some fashion to get back at Elida.
Well, yeah, that's what I literally just
Yeah,
said.
I'm just like piecing together bits of information.
Yeah, but
we're working through.
How?
Yeah.
How?
That's a good question.
How?
Yeah.
All right, let's wait and see.
Okay.
Read and find out, perhaps?
That's what that is, okay.
Okay, so we get some information about Lugard that you are definitely interested in.
Yes.
Because, you know why you're interested in this?
It's information?
No, because there are women here who have skirts above their ankles.
Oh my, that is why I'm interested.
Scandalous.
A little bit, but this town, little bit something else here.
This
Okay.
town is something else. This is like worse than Ilion.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about
we
politics.
thought easing the badger was bad.
This is way worse.
This is way worse.
Boobs are out on one of the signs.
Boobs are out.
Boobs are
like,
out.
actually, without question this time.
Yeah, like Swan thinks like, oh, those boobs are out.
Those boobs are out.
Yeah. So can I get into politics now?
Okay.
Okay. So Lugard is the capital of Mirandi with King Roadran, and he's basically the king in name only because
no
the
one
lords,
gives a shit about that guy.
they do whatever they want. So the nation is probably only held together because the lords all fear that Ilion or Andor might snap them up if they don't show some sort of like cohesive unity as a nation.
Cool, okay.
So you got Ilion to the south and Andor to the north there.
Okay.
And this is important because of the information that Tom gave us about the Children of the Light, that Pedro Nile seems to be recalling soldiers to Amadicia because there are rumors about a war between Ilion and Mirandi or Altara, and that the White Cloaks are going to try to stop it. So we know that the White Cloaks' initial plan was to take over the West Coast,
Yeah.
but now maybe their whole plan is like, ooh, take over Mirandi or Altara.
Well, okay.
So it's just like, hey, you gotta look at the politics.
I don't really give a shit what those White Cloaks are doing.
You gotta care. It's important.
Nah.
Okay.
They'll just like show up somewhere and I'll be like, what are you guys doing? Get out of here. That's like really it.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
they're just like a sub-mediocre villain. Like they're like a sub-villain. They're not like a real villain. They're just like there to distract me from the real villains.
Well, you just wait until they become... Turns out the Dark One was...
The White Cloaks,
showed the White Cloaks all along. Yep,
no,
there you go.
the White Cloaks are just some sub-villain that I'm like supposed to care a lot about what they're doing, and I just can't. I can't care.
Oh my god.
I don't care what they're doing or what. They seem ineffective. They seem stupid. I just don't care.
Okay, let's talk about the most important in here, though.
And that's not the tequila talking.
The 9-horse hitch. Let's move on. She says as she takes a swig.
Okay.
Okay.
So they pull up at this inn.
Yep.
We get a very important note.
Yes, we do.
That Bella is still alive and well.
She's okay. She's made it.
Even though Swan does not like horses.
Yeah, this is good. Like, I like the fact that we still get to know that Bella is here and okay.
Good.
Yeah.
So, Swan is in total boss mode. She tells Lyanna that she should go practice her flirting with Logain.
Yeah, because
And-
she's kind of been doing that a little bit.
Apparently. I don't think it goes well, but...
Well, it depends on who you ask.
I guess. And then Min has orders from Swan that as soon as Logain is done negotiating with the stableman, Min has to go tell him that Swan is going to join her inside.
Yeah.
And then Min is to hurry ahead and stay away from Lyanna and Logain until Swan gets back.
Yeah, basically, like, give them time to do their flirtation thing.
Okay.
And we kind of see the after effects of that, but it's like...
I don't think it worked.
Yeah.
It's weird. So...
It sort of worked.
Yeah, so
On
then
the right
Swan...
Yeah.
She is taking off by herself now.
Yeah, she's doing something super secretive.
Yeah, and I think that the whole, like, Lyanna and Logain thing is to distract them, so they don't know that she's left.
Okay.
And I think the whole, like, Min situation is just, like...
Get out of here.
Tell them you're meeting me.
Okay.
And then I'll meet you soon.
Okay.
I think mostly she doesn't want Lyanna to know. Because Lyanna, like, was also blue, right?
Yes.
So Lyanna also probably, like...
Know some stuff?
Knows
Yeah.
some stuff, and I don't think she wants Lyanna to know all the stuff until she knows the stuff.
Okay. I can understand that, actually. Yeah.
So, she takes off. She hopes she's heading in the right direction because she doesn't want to have to search this entire city. And then we get a whole lot of description.
The city, yeah.
There are some rather lewd names for inns around here. This entire city seems rather lewd.
There's some good ones.
Yeah, this is where in my notes I was like, and we thought easing the badger was bad.
Yeah. The Domani Wench's Kiss.
Yikes.
Yeesh.
Okay.
Okay.
So, then we get Swan recapping on her, quote, advantages to being stilled.
Yeah, we get a lot of like her thought process
She's
here.
like looking at herself in a mirror, or not a mirror, like a reflection.
Yeah.
And she thinks like, oh, I'm young. People would pay any price to have
Knock
what I have.
15 years off your looks, yeah.
Yeah.
And she can lie.
Yeah.
She can't be recognized.
Yeah.
But I just like to kind of keep in mind here, like, this whole thought process of Swan's, where she's like still pointing out the advantages and everything, we have to remember that she's probably in like a state of severe depression.
Oh, yeah.
She's literally searching for anything to hang on to as like a reason to stay alive.
Yeah, she even thinks that she might look prettier, because we get a very kind of interesting note about how stilling has affected her like agelessness and affected her how she looks.
Yeah,
because
that's all gone.
Because she doesn't look the same.
Yes,
as she did when she was 20.
Yeah,
right.
It's like changed.
It's basically like her, just younger, but like with the maturity of her age, which we actually don't even know. But yeah, she even thinks that she might be prettier than she was when she was this age.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
Yeah, she used to be described as like handsome, but now it's like
she could be attractive.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like an interesting little tidbit here.
It's a thing. It is certainly a thing.
Yeah.
So we also get Swan finding out what she's looking for.
Yes. I love the description of this. The inn with the sign. Can I?
Yeah, you do it.
It's
sure.
the improbably voluptuous woman whose hair is arranged to hide as little as possible.
And we don't get a name because
it's so dirty.
It's so
bad.
Dirty.
Yeah.
That we just skip over it.
I just like the improbably voluptuous.
Yeah.
It's like such a good description.
Of like a cartoon lady.
Cartoonishly large.
Yeah. Large hips, large boobs. Like I
Yeah.
just can picture it. Yeah. But with the really teeny waist, like the impossibly
just like a comically
voluptuous...
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And what's the name?
I don't know. Something crazy.
Something crazy. Okay.
Something so bad.
I'm not creative enough to come up with like a funny name for it.
Nope.
Like not on the spot right now. Give me time and maybe, but like not right now.
Not right now.
Okay.
Someone else. If we should like do a vote on Twitter or something.
What's the name of the inn?
What's the name of the inn?
Yeah.
Put it out to our Discord. Hey guys, what's the actual name of this inn? And then like everyone who's way more creative than
It'd be
us.
like Booby McButtface or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens when you put it out to the internet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now Swan finds who she's looking for.
Yeah.
It's the innkeeper, who's large, by the way. So we can trust her.
Yeah, I'm glad you noted that.
Yeah. Her name is Mistress Tharn.
Yes.
And she says, "Hey, Mistress Tharn, I'd like to be a singer at your inn."
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, this place is bustling. It is full of pipe smoke. There's a singer
with her legs showing like up to the very top of her leg, like not even just ankles.
Very lewd, lustrous things.
Let me tell you.
Oh my goodness. So,
well, it's kind of like a plan that whole Amathera was made to sing like dirty tavern songs too by the Black Aja.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
That's true. Okay, so that's the scene here, and she like comes in, she like interrupts and is like, "Can I be a singer here?" She's like wearing like.
Did you immediately think like know what was going on?
Yeah. Oh, I thought she was like looking for somebody for sure.
Yeah.
I really didn't think she wanted to be a singer at this tavern.
Well, it's kind of funny because it's the exact same thing. So all the eyes and ears, apparently, of all the Ajas, probably.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, find a person and then use a catchphrase that has secret hidden words.
Yes.
It's legitimately the same thing that Nynaeve did with the yellow Aja eyes and ears lady.
Yes.
So can you pick out the words from what she says?
Better
question. Do you know the words she says?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I have it here. Okay. So she says, "I can sing. These are the songs I can sing.
Yeah.
The Song of Three Fishes.
Yeah.
And Blue Sky Dawning."
Okay.
So obviously it's blue.
Blue makes sense.
Blue.
Yeah.
And then
what do you think the other word is?
I think that it might be fishes.
Yeah? Something to do with fish?
Yes, because Swan used to be the head of all the Eyes and Ears network for the blues.
And she loves her fish references.
She loves her fish references. And so it's like, maybe that's like still a thing.
I love it. Like if she was in charge and like changed all the codes.
Or it might be like the number 3 or something. But like...
Fishes is way better.
Fishes is way
something
better.
to do with fish and something to do with the color.
Maybe. Yeah.
No, I gotta say fish. Fish is better.
It's gotta be fish.
That was a good justified answer.
Yeah.
I like it. If you can justify something like that, you gotta stick with it.
All right. So then the woman's like, all right, let me see your legs.
Yeah.
And Swan's like, no.
I don't like this anymore.
I don't want to. And then the innkeeper seems to be like laughing everything off. Swan is worried that this isn't the right person, but like she fits every description.
Well, it's like this is in the middle of the common room here too.
I know.
So.
Like this isn't that smart. Like I get that Swan is sort of under a timeline, under pressure, wants to get this done, but
I'm on Mr. Starn's side here. Like,
100%.
Yeah, she's got to play it up.
Oh, yeah. And then she's like, you gotta show me your legs, honey, sweetie, whatever. Hey, baby, you gotta show me your legs, and then I'll see if you can stand up there and entertain the men.
Yeah.
And then Swan ends up, like, pulling her legs up, but then she's, like, wearing wool stockings.
Yeah.
And it's like, isn't it, like, hot in summer?
It's good for traveling.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it keeps your, like, the sweat off your feet probably or something. There's something to do with wool socks. It's important. I know that. I know that in my brain. Something to do with wool socks when you're, like, traveling.
Okay, it sounds too warm for me. I hate having my socks on. Does anyone else have this? Like, anyone else who gets really anxious sometimes? Like, I have anxiety. And when I'm wearing socks, like, I need to take them off. And I feel, like, when I'm getting overwhelmed, if I take my socks off, I feel better.
Yeah, that's true.
Does anybody get that?
And that's why there's socks all over the place.
No. They
everywhere.
make it back into the room.
Do you know why they make it back into the room? It's because somebody is collecting your socks all the time.
Okay. Okay, don't tell the people.
Gonna air the dirty socks in here.
Oh my
goodness.
God.
Okay.
But no, that's like a thing. Like, wool socks really stress me out. There's no way. Oh man, I'm completely alone in that, I'm sure.
Okay.
But back to this, because this is where we learned that before being raised to Amerlin, she was the Blue Aja's network of eyes and ears. Like, she ran
the whole deal, yeah. And she had a bunch of her own personal listeners. Yeah.
And while she's not Amerlin anymore, she still knows the contacts.
Yeah, we've gotten this phrase, I think twice or three times in this chapter, where she thinks to herself as one of her advantages, I look different, I'm like, I can't channel anymore, but I still know everything I knew as the Amerlin seat.
True.
Like, that's huge. And it's good
a big deal, yeah.
Yeah, it's good she realizes that, like, you still have your brain.
Especially considering the position that she is in.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can straight up tell somebody the Amerlin's been stilled.
Yeah.
While, like, that's her.
Being that person, yeah.
And so, now that Swan is alone with the innkeeper, because she's like, oh, you gotta come to the back with me and show me your legs.
Yeah, bustle her away.
Yeah. So, she's alone with her. Mistress Thorn rounds on her and wants to know what Swan wants, and she, like, leaves names out of it. Plus, Swan was way too obvious out there.
Yeah.
And the innkeeper, she's super pissed off about that. Like, Swan did not come at opening or closing like she's supposed to.
Yeah, there's, like, rules, and she didn't follow them. But, like, I get why Swan needed to break the rules.
Swan is also having a really hard time controlling herself.
And, well, because she's not Amerlin anymore.
And, like, being meek.
Yeah.
And, no, she can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also, one little note before we forget about it. She's been looking for contacts like this, but there's only been one person that she actually wanted to approach between Tar Valon and where they are now. And there was one contact in Four Kings, but she's gone. She's vanished.
Oh, the contact is gone.
Yes, the contact.
Okay.
And Four Kings is, like, pretty big.
That's probably why she's so antsy about finding this one.
But you remember what Four Kings was? Eye of the World, Four Kings.
Yeah, I know Four Kings.
Yeah, that was like a big things happening.
Well, it's like a bajillion inns there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like interesting that one of them vanished. Ooh, because that's where like
the
Dark
contact
Friends were. Yeah.
Vanished.
Yeah, the contact vanished. So.
Okay. All right. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, like, it's also been years. Like, how long has she been Amerlin since she ran the network?
Yeah, it's been a while. Like, I like to point that out when we get callbacks.
It's like she probably maybe just doesn't work at that inn anymore.
Maybe
and she's just like a farm housewife now.
You got a whole backstory. Okay,
yeah.
Let's do that. Okay.
Just call me RJ.
There you go.
All right, so
got like 3 kids.
Yeah.
And, sheep.
Yeah. So now that everyone is relatively settled down, we get a bit of a conversation, and Swan says that she was given a message to deliver to a gathering of those they serve.
Yeah.
And they're not where she thought she would find them.
So it's all very cryptic.
Yeah.
Very cryptic.
I wrote it all down, but I'm still confused.
You should be, because it's a very cryptic message.
Okay, good. Because even as I was reading, I was like, even these sentences don't even make sense.
So it's basically Swan being like, I'm looking for people, and they're somewhere, but they're not where I thought they would be. Do you know where they are?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and the innkeeper's like, okay, well, I want news from Tar Valon. And so Swan tells her Swan has been still, and Elida's the new Amerlin. And then Mistress Tharn is like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, all the crazy news that's coming out.
All the messages I've been receiving are weird, and that's why.
Yes, and she pieces it together, being like, oh, that makes sense why, the tower split.
Well, I find it interesting, too, that it's been a while now since all of that went down in Tarvalin, and news hasn't spread.
Well, it has spread. We get that she's heard news, but it's like a bunch of messages.
No. I mean, like, regular commoner news about how the Amerlin was deposed and now there's a new Amerlin seat.
Oh.
Like, news in the world.
Okay.
Of, like, this crazy fight battle in the White Tower went down.
So why do you think the White Tower would want the entire world to know what went down?
I don't think they want that.
Okay.
I'm just surprised that, like, people who might have been in the White Tower and were ushered out of it.
Yeah.
Like, news spreads fast, usually.
Yeah,
like, it gets around so fast. Like, the whole news about the Dragon Reborn and all of that stuff. And here we have, it's been how long, and there's, like, no news of the Amerlin seat changing.
Yeah. Well, they probably want to keep it secret, so they're, like, limiting information as much as
No,
possible.
I know, but sometimes you don't have control over what you want to keep secret. And so I'm just surprised, that's all. Because I think that this news should travel faster than it is.
Okay. All right, I'll let you go with that.
That's all.
I won't disagree with you more on that.
Okay, so turns out here that Mistress Tharn is loyal to the Blue Aja.
Yes.
And she has a coded message.
Here we go, more coded messages.
She doesn't understand
any
herself.
radars go off on this one too? Because we just already had like a coded message of like, didn't go so well.
No.
Oh, okay.
This one I totally believe.
Okay,
I was totally on board. No, I go with...
Like, we just went from, like, the, oh my god, don't drink the spooky wine.
It was the way that people are acting around you that makes me...
Okay.
Feel that way.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was bad. That was a bad situation.
Yeah.
No one's making her drink anything or, like, shoving her in a bag or something. Like...
Not yet. So let's get to this...
knocking her over the head in the frying pan. Like, I didn't think that ever, actually, reading this.
Okay.
I didn't get that feeling. Maybe I'm just, like, a good read.
Maybe. Good judge of character.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this message.
The message is Sally Dara.
Sally Dara.
She's like, I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who it is. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
End of the conversation. Mistress Tharn wants Swan to tell Adelin Sedai?
Aldine? Probably.
Sedai?
Possibly.
That she's still loyal to the Blues, whatever has happened, and with that, it's time for Swan to get out of here.
Yeah, because we also get that message is for any Blues who come around.
Okay.
So again, all Blues are out of the tower.
All Blues are out of the tower, Sally Dara.
Sally Dara.
So after Swan gets out of the Dirty Inn,
yep,
we find out that the secret code means something pretty important.
It means
Sally Dara is code for Saladar.
Saladar, yeah. Okay.
Let's go to the map.
We're going to the map. Okay.
We're going to the map.
Is this when you went to the map?
This is when I went to the map.
Awesome. Okay.
So
okay.
This is the place.
Yeah.
On the map.
Yeah.
That's kind of part way between where they are and Amadicia.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it's going to lead me to my point when we're finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they went from Tarvalin down through Andor, down. They're in Lugard, and then Saladar is a little bit like northwest of Ilion. But then even further west.
So they need to travel southwest.
Yeah. And the other girls are in Amadicia.
Traveling straight west.
Possibly, or maybe up to Johanna, and then then east. Like they might be going north and then east. So okay, let's come back to it.
Let's come back to it because I think that my theory's coming together for you.
I think I see where you're going.
Yes,
but we'll see.
Okay, so turns out though that Saladar is pretty important.
It is, yeah. It's the birthplace of Diane Ariman, the Blue who became Amerlin after Bonwyn messed everything up with Archer Hawkwing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bonwyn was the one who messed everything up.
Yes.
That's what who Elida has on her wall.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a big deal for the Blues. That's a big deal. So that probably means that that's where all the Blues are gathering.
Yes, that would make sense why that's the coded...
That's the message.
Yeah.
So Swan's like, shit, we gotta get there now. So Swan makes her way back to the streets with only some minor stuff happening, seeing some white cloaks and some men being gross.
Yeah, and it seems like the white cloak thing is definitely going to be a problem, so...
I disagree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Is it
think
just like an excuse that Swan is using?
100%. Yes.
It's like,
yes.
no, White Cloak saw me. We gotta go.
Yes, exactly. Because she wants to get to this place.
Okay.
And she can't, and she's not telling them
Yeah.
that she did this.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, 100%. I don't think that was a big deal at all.
Okay.
If it ends up being a big deal, like, I'll eat my hat, but...
Oh my god, don't do that. Okay.
Okay, perspective change.
Yeah, that's all done with Swan. She's good.
Alright, and we're going to end off this chapter with a Min perspective change.
Yeah, coming in strong. And we got some funny stuff to talk about.
A little bit, yeah. So she's at the 9-horse Hitch Inn.
Yep.
Watching a table with Logain and Liana and a bunch of men hanging around.
You said it didn't go well with the whole flirting thing?
Well, I thought she was supposed to be flirting with Logain.
That's what it seemed like, but it's just kind of like it's changed now.
Yeah, so the flirting with Logain doesn't seem to have gone well because he's just like standing there annoyed with everything.
Or is this a strategy where you make him like her more by flirting with the other guys, and then it'll make him jealous?
I think that she was supposed to flirt with him, and it didn't work, so she just started flirting with everyone else, and then he's annoyed by everything.
Yeah, and she's like almost literally started a riot in the common room.
And then she personally quelled the
riot. That she almost started. So, I mean...
Did I use that word right?
Quelled?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good. I feel like it was an appropriate
If I just say it with confidence, it'll be right. So, now, Min is noting that Liana's flirting with all the men, and then she starts thinking about how she wouldn't mind being able to do that with one man in particular.
Name that man?
Rand.
It's Rand, okay.
Rand al'Thor, the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, we kind of get a lot of, Min viewing things and thinking in her own head. Like, not a lot of stuff is happening, but it's just from, her thought process.
Sure.
She's missing Rand.
Yeah, and she's doing all sorts of stuff where she's thinking about how she has to change to attract him.
Which is, like, totally not true.
No, I hate that, actually.
It's in her own brain.
Let me tell you how much I hate that.
Is it all of it?
Yeah, it's all of it. I hate it all.
I thought so.
Like how she thinks she has to put on makeup and flirt with him and whatever. And it's like, I don't know, he's still dreaming about you in your breeches.
But I mean, it's a very realistic thought process of if you like someone who you don't know that they like you back, it's like you start thinking, oh, how can I get their attention? Even though you're all that they think about. So
and it's like across the world.
Yeah, there's more complicated stuff. So.
It's all complicated. So Swan comes in and sits next to Min, tells her that they have to head south, and the bad news is that some white cloaks might be asking about her, so we gotta go right now.
Okay, so you're just thinking like it's just an excuse.
Oh yeah, because at first she's like, we have to leave. And then Min is like, I don't want to leave. Can't we just spend one night in a bed?
Right. And then she's like,
wouldn't that be nice? And then she's like,
there's white cloaks.
Oh, but white cloaks know me now and I have to go.
And it's like, do they know you?
Yeah, so no staying at this inn tonight. Too bad. And then to finish this chapter, Min asks Swan, what is a 9-horse hitch anyway? She's seen 8 and 10, but never 9. And Swan answers, in this town, it's better not to ask.
Okay.
And I just wrote something sexual, question mark?
Okay, so this has been a point of a lot of discussion on the internet. People love this kind of stuff.
Talk about dirty things.
And I got some fun fact type information for you. Okay?
All right.
Are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
You might have to line up a shot too.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So, this whole what is a 9-horse hitch anyway? There's a few schools of thought on this topic. First, I'm going to give you an excerpt from an interview with Robert Jordan.
Yes.
About the name of this inn.
Yes, bonus fun fact.
Bonus fun fact, okay. The question was, what exactly is a 9-horse hitch? Robert Jordan's answer, and you're not going to like it, he says, if you don't know already, really, you aren't old enough.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. So it's like real dirty.
Shoot.
It's like some southern style.
I'm old enough. I just don't know your slang.
Okay, so...
I promise I'm old enough.
And I haven't been... Maybe there isn't like a definitive answer out there. There's a lot of speculation, so I'm going to give you a couple of them. So, some people suggest that it's a play on, and this is 14a, 9-horse itch. 9-horse Hitch, 9 whores itch,
Okay.
suggesting that the inn is a brothel, like itching to get to work, but, and hopefully not the other type of itch. But anyways, in this universe, RJ has been on the record saying that there's no prostitution in the Wheel of Time.
Okay.
That is not a thing that exists in this book series. Prostitution, brothels. So it would be more like a, itching to get to work situation. They can still have sex with people. That's the mentality here behind it.
Okay, what's the other thing?
Other one, it could be a reference to a 9-horse hitch having like a very long pole that it would take to hitch 9 horses. So a very phallic symbol. Or implying something like an orgy. As in like,
that's what I was thinking.
9 men and 1 woman or something like that.
Oh, no, okay, I was thinking more orgy, but like...
Yeah, it could be an orgy type thing. Because a 9-horse hitch, like, doesn't exist because you have, like, pairs of 2, right?
Yeah.
That's why 8 and 10 make sense, but not 9. It's not
Sure.
a Rudolph situation where you're like,
Yeah.
Okay. It also could be a bondage reference.
Okay.
It's, like, very possible.
Oh, man, okay, just, like, anything sexual you could ever think of, it might be that.
And then my favorite, it's basically,
you have
it's
a
all...
favorite. Oh, what's your favorite?
No, my favorite is the Lord of the Rings reference.
Oh!
Because it's the 9 horse, like the 9...
That would be your favorite reference. I was like, oh, please do
It's
tell
the
me.
it's the non-sexual.
What's your favorite sexual reference? It's not sexual. That makes all the sense for you. Okay.
The 9 ring wraiths rode the horses, so it was like 9 horses. So like
no, that's not what it is.
I just gotta throw it out there, and we gotta take a
That's
shot.
not what it is, and you want to take a shot. There's no way. No, I actually was thinking like.
And there's all
I thought like, okay, well,
there's also 9 people in the Fellowship of the Ring.
No, that's not it.
I'm just saying it could possibly be.
It's not. What I was thinking when I read it is there's like if there's like an 8-horse hitch, and then like I don't know if you like do something sexual in the stable,
sure,
beside the 8-horse hitch, then it's like you're the
9th
because you're like riding somebody or something.
I like it. I like that
that's
one too.
like where my mind went. Like if no.
I like it.
Okay, all right. We can do a shot though if you so choose.
I do choose because that's the best I got.
Okay, that was a bad. That doesn't even make sense.
Nobody actually knows, and I think it's just RJ just totally messing with everybody.
100%.
So.
Okay. All right, cheers.
Okay, and cheers to my favorite interpretation of the 9-horse hitch.
Oh, now you have a new one.
It's the 8 reindeer plus Rudolph.
No.
Yep, that's what it is. Cheers.
I don't want to cheers to that.
You have to.
I didn't. No. I didn't like that.
That good?
That was a bad one. Okay, so with that, now they have a long way to go and no time to waste.
Yeah, okay. So that's it.
Yeah, so here's my theory. We're gonna get a run-in.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about the map. So we've got
the theory.
This crew heading south from Tarvalin, and then we got the other crew coming in hot from the west towards the east, and they're gonna kind of intersect.
100%.
Okay.
If there isn't an overlap meetup here, I will be so upset.
Really? Okay.
I will be...
What if it's like a close miss, like
I
just miss each other?
I fucking hate it. I will throw my book in the fireplace.
Like different sides of the same town, and they just like don't run into each other.
No, okay. If it's like a near hit or something, like if, they like pass by the same place but just miss each other, I will be more okay with that.
Okay.
Than just like... a complete...
Not even close.
Not even close. If our crew ends up in going to like Ilion or going back to Tyr, and like this crew is like doing something else, I will be so annoyed.
That's so good. Okay.
But I'm telling you,
it's
because
happening.
This is like a clear setup.
Yeah.
And if it does not happen, it's a clear lead off, and I fucking hate that I fall in for it. As I feel so strongly that this is how Nynaeve and Elaine are gonna find out.
Ooh, yeah, that makes sense.
Like they're literally gonna run into Min. They're gonna run into
Swan. It's like, why did you order people to, kidnap us?
And she's, but they won't even like recognize her. But they'll recognize Min, right? And Logain probably, but they won't recognize Swan and Lyanna. It'll be a whole thing, and I can't wait.
It's
and
great.
That better fucking happen. I'm holding a knife to your throat. That better happen.
Oh no. I got like a quadruple fun fact here for the next chapters here.
Okay.
That I'm going to leave you with a cliffhanger on.
Okay.
So, the next 2 chapters, we have 2 new chapter symbols.
Oh, okay. Fun.
Yeah, very exciting. We haven't seen these chapter symbols before.
Okay. That's like less exciting than I thought you were going to say.
No, it's good. Why are you not more excited about that?
Chapter symbols, okay.
Brand new ones. We haven't had a new one for a while.
That's true.
So like getting 2 new ones in one episode?
Okay.
It's a big deal.
Fine.
Okay.
I'll take it. I'm eager to read on. I'm excited. So before you show your legs to some innkeeper to get some secret hidden message, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
That's all for now, but until next time, thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Danny and Brett, edited by Danny, produced by Danny and Brett with Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Cody Fouts, Giannis, and Megan Smiley, with music by audionautics.com. If you're interested in supporting us and helping us to make really great content, you can head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. And you'll also get access to some really great bonus content like early access to our regular episodes, bonus episodes, unedited video episodes, access to our live recordings, monthly Q&As, and more like stickers and keychains. Don't forget to find us on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We'd also love for you to join the conversation over at our Discord, and you can find the link to that in our bios on those social medias. We'd love for you to tell a friend about us. Referrals really are the best compliment. We'd love for you to leave a review and subscribe. That really does make a huge difference. Thanks so much again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.